Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
A possible tornado touchdown is under investigation in Bemidji. The county posted on its emergency management Facebook page today that there was a concentrated area of damage that snapped and uprooted several large trees and down some power lines. One resident says the event sounded like a train. At least one garage was lifted from its foundation, roofing was torn off, and several trampolines were blown across yards. City crews are working to clear the area and restore power. They're asking residents to stay away from down power lines. Officials are now working to determine whether the damage was caused by a tornado. And it looks like here in the FM area, most of the clouds have moved away and the sunshine is here for the 4th of July, making for a good night of some fireworks. Let's get a check of how our evening is looking with meteorologist Robert Hahn. Robert, what can people expect tonight when they're at the fireworks shows?
For most of us, some thankfully quiet conditions as we head through this evening and into tonight. Still a very small chance for an isolated shower or storm in our far eastern counties. Late last night, very early this morning, a lot of damage reports all around the region. You heard some of those from the Bemidji area. Many more around the area. A lot of folks doing some cleanup today, but some good weather to do that cleanup. Right now, temperature-wise, it's not too bad out there. Some low 70s in the Langdon area. 83 here in Fargo, 82 Wahpeton, Fergus Falls, and in the Detroit Lakes area. Winds have been breezy out of the west and northwest, around 15 to 25 miles per hour. They'll subside a bit tonight. Just a few clouds out there, though, along a cool front. And again, a slight chance for a shower or storm in our far eastern counties. But right now, things are quiet. Here in Fargo, we do stay quiet as we head through this evening, and temperatures dropping on off into the mid-70s by the 9 o'clock hour. Quiet conditions will continue for the next several days, but we do have some storm chances on that 7-day forecast, and we'll show you when to expect those in just a few minutes.
Okay, thank you, Robert. And a man has been arrested in connection to a garage burglary in Fargo. Around 11:30 this afternoon, police responded to a report of a burglary near Gold Drive in South Fargo, which is near I-94 and the 25th Street exit. Officers responded, set up a perimeter, and brought in a West Fargo police canine to help track the suspect. 38-year-old Chad Michael Castle was arrested for burglary and 3 outstanding warrants. Castle is being held at the Cass County Jail. A Minnesota woman is now accused in the death of a 2-month-old baby girl. 30-year-old Sarah Corton is in jail on second-degree murder. Police say Corton intentionally caused the death of the baby at her home in Red Lake Falls last month. A criminal complaint says the baby had multiple skull fractures, retinal bleeding, and detachment in her eyes, which a UND pathologist ruled are the result of inflicted trauma, not an accidental fall. Corton will make her first court appearance this week. One man was cited after his semi rolled on I-29 near Christine this morning. The North Dakota Highway Patrol says it happened around 6:45. 21-year-old Maninder Singh from Canada was trying to get back on the interstate from an exit. He took a hard left turn, causing his rig to roll. Neither Singh nor his passenger, 27-year-old Balwinder Singh, also of Canada, were hurt. Maninder was cited for care required. One person is dead after a motorcycle crash in southern Minnesota. Minnesota State Patrol says the driver lost control in Faribault County and then hit the ditch. The biker was then thrown from the Harley. They were pronounced dead at the scene. No other information is being released as authorities are still investigating. A search continues for 2 missing people from Williston who police believe could be in the Fargo area. Police need your help finding 38-year-old Miranda Wells and 13-year-old Jaden Wells. Miranda is 5 feet tall, about 125 pounds, with strawberry blonde hair and green eyes. Jaden is 5'1", weighs 95 pounds, with brownish red hair and blue eyes. If you see them or have any information, call Red River Dispatch at the number on your screen. That number is 701-451-7660, or call your local law enforcement. A Minnesota man is recovering after getting hit by a falling tree. Around 6 this morning, the Becker County Sheriff's Office received a report of a 44-year-old man who had been struck by a falling tree during early morning storms. Jeff Panzer from Farmington, Minnesota, and 3 others were camping on the east side of Elbow Lake in northern Becker County when the storm hit. Panzer was under an awning at the time of the incident. Emergency responders used chainsaws with help from local residents who were able to help Panzer. He was brought to the hospital and is expected to be okay. A 95-year-old man in Minnesota made an expensive mistake after driving nearly 800 feet through freshly poured cement. Check this out. You can see the tire marks he left behind on Highway 63 near Rochester. According to state patrol officers, the driver was heading home from the Mayo Clinic and got confused by the construction. The man had to be stopped after driving 780 feet and was later cited for failing to obey a traffic control device. The man's insurance will have to cover the cost and damages, which is an estimated price tag of $100,000. Crews are currently working to repave the highway, which needs to be broken up into sections. The Minnesota Department of Transportation hopes this story serves as a reminder for drivers to pay attention in work zones.
They get scared and they'll start flying around and they can hurt themselves.
A Fargo woman has been dreading this day since last year. Mary Grindy has 13 birds. And like most animals on this holiday, when they hear fireworks, they get scared. Tonight, we introduce you to this woman and have the details on what you can do if your pet doesn't like to celebrate this day. Take a look.
Mary Grindy has a lot of birds.
Hello.
She's been taking them into her home for a long time now.
Q-Tip is 27. I've had him since he's 4 months old. And Mo is about 25 years old.
But she admits today is one of her least favorite days of the year. And that's because
If they're shooting off real big, loud ones, it's kind of like when it thunders a whole lot, they get real scared.
Mary says she usually doesn't get too much sleep on the 4th of July.
If they're shooting fireworks off real late, then I'm up and down and up and down.
And she tells us the birds that usually get more frantic are these little ones.
They get scared.
But she has a system down that she says seems to help. She just draws the curtains and turns the TV on.
It just depends upon how loud the firecrackers are, how bigger ones people are shooting off.
Now, birds aren't the only animal Mary has owned.
Give me this. Thank you.
She's had a dog before, too. And in her experience, she says dogs usually get about as scared as the birds do. We caught up with a dog owner at a park in Fargo. Mark Kaysen has 2 of his own, and he says they get a little on edge during the 4th.
She'll just kind of bark or huff whenever they going off. Sophie kind of freaks out a little bit.
But he tells us both dogs usually get used to the sounds as the night goes on.
They start getting a little freaked out. All they need is something to make them feel safe, and you just put your hand on them or something to let them know you're there, and most of the time they'll calm down.
And that's what Mark recommends other pet owners to do. In Fargo, Melanie Palmer, Valley News Live.
Homeward Animal Shelter has some advice on what you can do tonight if your pets get a little squeamish with fireworks. They say to not bring your pets to any firework displays and leave them in an escape-proof area of the home. Experts also suggest getting a calming wrap for your dog. These are similar to swaddles and keep your dog less stressed when loud noises are happening around them. There's no bigger 4th of July tradition than fireworks, but they can also be extremely dangerous. Thousands of people, most often kids and teens, are injured each year using fireworks. And believe it or not, sparklers are the most likely to cause injuries. They can reach temperatures high enough to cause 3rd-degree burns. That's why doctors recommend that only adults handle fireworks and to wear protective eyewear. Always dispose of fireworks by soaking them in water before throwing them away. It's one of the biggest celebrations this time of year, the 4th of July celebration at Bonanzaville. This morning, the slew of events kicked off with a 5K run with the Veterans of Vietnam Memorial, and it was an experience for all who came out to interact. On hand were a ton of activities like classic carnival games, wagon rides, train rides, and bouncy houses.
I mean, we've got something for everyone. Like we said, we do have a parade, we have games. If you want to just experience Bonanzaville, the village, you've never been out here before as a historic village, we have that too. I mean, all our buildings are open, and we do have live demonstrators, which we don't always have out here.
And there is still a number of events going on at the moment. The Bonanzaville Fireworks Show will start tonight at 10 p.m. And if you're not out in Lakes Country tonight celebrating Independence Day, you can catch a fireworks show at a few places here in the Valley. Valley News Team's Bailey Hurley tells us where to go and what you can expect to see at each show.
If you're looking to do more than just smoke bombs on the driveway tonight, there are plenty of fireworks shows to choose from in the valley. Crews set up this morning for the 45th annual show at MSUM tonight, with the band Post Traumatic Funk Syndrome playing before. And the sky will be lit up in North Fargo tonight after the Red Hawks game, as well as a display in West Fargo at Bonanzaville. And if you're a little further south, Star Fireworks is putting on a show at Big Irv's Bar and Grill in Horace.
They do an awesome display, just 20 minutes of amazing fireworks. Kid-friendly, bring the family, bring your tailgates, your lawn chairs, and just enjoy the show.
The Lockhart Band takes the stage at 8, and the sparks start flying a little after 10.
You know, Horace is a growing community, and we like to keep things here. We like to keep this community together. And, you know, not everybody has a chance to go to the lakes. Stay in your local area and enjoy that.
Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
We have a list of locations and times for fireworks shows in the area. Post on our website, valleynewslive.com. Well,